Welcome everyone to this special edition of the Leadership Advancement Mentorship Podcast, a podcast in which we have leadership conversation with emerging leaders, and also through that conversation we get to learn about the leadership journey and how they became aware, how they developed the awareness for their leadership, and how they have paid the price of leadership development. And also we're going to look at the effect of mentorship, how it has impacted them. Today I have a guest, someone very close to me, and close to me in the sense that I love innovation, I love creativity. I've watched her from afar, and I've been privileged to meet her. I call her pelicans, and pelicans. There was a joke I saw one day, and I posted it. She resonated with it, and the pelicans was just like one of the. There are two pelicans. So one of the pelican was trying to swallow a big, a big fish, and it was finding it hard to take the fish inside. And the other one, and that pelican's name is Stan. So the other pelican, I said, "Come on, Stan. You can do this." Are you a pelican or pelicans? Of course, a pelican he has to believe in can. I can do this. And she resonated with it. And since then, when we chatted, that has been a landing page. And I've seen him really manifesting this pelican. In fact, when she wrote her first book, she did three in a row. Who does that? Her first debut, and she did three books, and that shows that the I can do. And I love that when I see that spirit in leaders, and I can do spirit, and that's why it's with honor and privilege, and to really have Coach Temi Bolaji-Jegede. Welcome, Coach Temi. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you. It's always nice to be on your platform. Thank you for the opportunity, Dr. Koku.
Wow, it's a privilege to tell us something about yourself so that people can get to really know you. Yeah.
I love smiling, I love laughing. And I believe I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's been my watchword and mantra for as long as like 25, 30 years of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one thing that, it's deeply rooted in my life.
Yeah.
And so nothing is nothing is unsurmountable.
Okay. So tell us what you do, and let people get to know you.
Yes, yes. So I'm an executive coach. I love to coach women leaders who
Mm,
are either emerging or already established in their leadership and trying to increase their leadership effectiveness. I'm
mm,
very much drawn to women because I understand the life of a woman. It could be
mm,
very difficult, challenging, managing business, family, work, career, spiritual, and everything together. So I haven't gone through that same phase.
mm,
I don't feel, I believe I'm called to serve the women in this capacity. So I do executive coaching, and I'm also an author. I write books. I write books that are really personal experiences so that other people can be blessed and their lives can change as a result of that. I also
mm,
have background in technology. So aside coaching and writing books, I'm into product management, project management. I've been in that for almost like 25 years of my life. Yeah. So I'm very happy to
mm.
be here.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, I don't normally ask this question first, but I'm going to break the rules with you. Where does your confidence come from?
Ah.
My mentor said something, Elizabeth McCormick. He said, when we show up with confidence, it boosts our competence.
Mm.
Anytime I see you post, I just saw that confidence, that stuff there. You see, to me, I believe there are three kind of people,
Mm.
and the first kind of people are the timid, and those people are based on how we respond to change. So
Yeah.
the timid response to change is they are frightened.
Yeah.
They are frightened. So, I mean, I'm talking about three categories based on how we respond to change. So, the timid, they are always frightened by change. They are afraid of change. The second group of people are the comfortable.
Mm.
The comfortable, they are threatened by change.
Mm.
Change is a threat to them.
Hmm.
Why the timid are frightened, they are afraid. But these ones, they are just threatened. Anytime they hear any change, it's a threat. It's a threat to them. And the last group of people are the confident, and they see change as opportunity.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that's where you belong. Like I said, with what I've seen from afar, no, for real, for real. I like to affirm people. Anytime you affirm something, you make it firm. You make
Yes,
it stand. And for you to do that, you have to be secured.
yes.
And I believe I lean more to women leaders than men. I love men leaders, but I believe that we don't have enough women leaders. That's why I always use the platform that God gave me to really promote women leaders. Even most of my clients are women. You understand what I'm
Mm.
saying? Yeah, I don't hate men. Men, I mean, listen to me. Yeah, I love men, but I just believe that I just my mom raised me up as a single woman.
Mm.
She has 5 children, and my dad died when I was 6 years old. My dad died at 45.
Wow.
At that time, my mom was 39 and she never remarried. And I saw how she stepped up in leadership.
Mm.
And the day she died, she was being buried. I cried. I lost
Mm.
it. I just remember I've seen how she stood out. And she always says something, I'm going to escort you all to where you'll not be afraid.
Oh my
I saw
God.
leadership. I tell you, I saw leadership with my mom and all that. So, and I've always had that heart that when I grow up, and I'm still growing up now,
Yeah.
that I want to do something that will encourage women until I was given the opportunity, the vision for Women in Leadership League. And
Oh.
people wonder, why do you have more women speakers? I said, listen, we want to use our platform to
Mm.
tell every woman that leadership is for everyone. So
Mm.
where does your confidence come from? Yeah.
Mm.
Tell us. Yeah.
Mm. A lovely story. I love that story. Yeah, it's almost making me to tear up. Okay. Well, thank you for telling me that I appear to be confident. I must say that if you met me like 30 years ago, I would be in the timid section.
Oh, wow. So
I,
you graduated from timid to the confident. Wow. Tell us,
no, no, I know. I
what does
went
it
through.
take? How
It
did
wasn't a job. I went through it timid
you
to
went
the
through,
middle to the confidence.
so you
So
went through the timid, the comfortable, and now the confident. Okay.
yes. So
I would like to hear that. Yeah.
it was a phase indeed. So I'm naturally a shy person. Like, when you say people are shy, I'm very shy. I don't like the crowd. I don't like the spotlight. I keep to myself. I find it hard to make friends. This is me growing up as a child. I
Mm,
remember I don't have friends when I was in primary school.
mm,
My older sister's friends were my friends. Okay.
mm,
To tell you how shy I was. Okay. And then as I began to realize that there is more to me than I'm realizing because God lives in me. God is a big factor of my life. I
mm.
cannot finish a sentence without that's just
Good.
who I am. I'm rooted in
Yeah,
Him.
it's okay. It's okay.
I'm just together. So when I began to realize that I can do all things through
Mm,
Christ, I started looking for things that
mm,
I've never done before. And then I challenged myself to do it. And
mm,
then when I do it, I'm like, yes, you can do this. So that
mm,
boosts my confidence. And then I
mm.
look for something else that's challenging, and then it boosts my confidence.
Yeah.
And so sometimes people think that I am restless, but I'm not restless. I'm not restless. I'm just looking for that new thing that I thought I
Opportunity.
couldn't do before. And I've done
Mm,
it. And I've learned from walk through the process of why did I gravitate towards that thing? What did I learn about myself in that thing? Maybe I
mm,
crumbled during it, but I've learned something and I apply it to the next challenge. And so many, many, many challenges I look for every time because I believe I can do everything,
mm,
and that just kept increasing and increasing. So that's
mm,
one. And the other thing is me being very much aware of myself and my potential.
mm,
So now I've realized that I'm very good with data. I see patterns, I see trends. I put myself in a position whereby I can solve problems when it comes to looking at data, looking at trends, forward-looking
mm,
analysis. And so I shine in those areas. I
mm.
don't put myself in situations where I know that I those are not my core skills.
Your
No,
strength.
I
Yeah.
won't I
Yeah.
won't do that. So it's where I know I am relevant, I'm needed, and then I
Yeah.
shine there. Yeah,
Wow. Well, I pick up two things. I like to, and I was trained as a physician, and we do dissection in medical school.
I
So I
know.
like to dissect stuff and turn what is complicated into what is simple,
Okay.
memorable, and practical. So
Mm,
what you just said that I got from you, you talk about taking action, and I realized one of the way you build confidence is action, taking action.
mm,
Because when you have wins under your belt, you have actions. For instance, in Lamb Global Community, and that was founded. It will be 3 years young next month, and by the grace of God, we've hosted 11 virtual global leadership
Wow.
conferences,
Wow.
and the 12th one is coming up next month. So, and that gave us confidence. Even when time has short, I just realized that we're going to find a way through because if you have done something again and again and again and again and again. So it is what we call putting wings under your belt. And the second one you mentioned is staying in your strength zone.
Mm.
Yeah. So I just want to, I mean, there are many, but let's just keep to that. Yeah, that's not the topic of today. But I did that for Coach Temi because, like I said, if you know Coach Temi very well, I want to look at her on Facebook and LinkedIn. She has this unusual personality. Like I said, I really admire that when I see that in people, and it shows. Even when I met her physically, there's that outlook of a leader that you can see inside of her, and that's unique. So when did you become aware of your leadership potential? At what age? Who was it that pointed you to it? Because when Dr. John Maswell wrote the book, Developing the Leader Within You, people now realize that, oh, wow, so that means I can't develop what I don't have.
Mm.
That's when they became aware that, wow, we thought some people won the lottery, some have to stay at the back. So that
Mm.
means everyone has leadership potential inside of them. So that
Mm.
means all we have to do is to be aware of it and to
Mm.
develop it. So
Mm.
at what moment in your life? Because
Mm.
for me, and when I really became, it was one of my teacher that brought it into my awareness when I was in middle school,
Mm.
and apart from grades and all that, he will write it.
Mm.
In fact, he's still connected with me of recent on Facebook. He will write it. He will affirm it under the extracurricular stuff. He will affirm the leadership to the
Mm.
extent that when I was in eighth grade, when there was an election to be the captain, the head of the class,
Mm.
the captain of the class. So of course I didn't make it. There are three nominations, so I got the bottom position. So the
Mm.
first two were given captain and assistant captain. But I still realized that no, there's something about this guy. He
Mm.
created a new position for me called the vernacular captain. He
Mm.
just like he just saw that leadership, and it was the first person that really affirmed that in me. And then later on, the captain left. So I graduated to being the assistant captain. And of course,
Wow.
still having the vernacular portfolio. He
Yeah.
just want me to be that, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, that was the earliest of mention. But what about you? When did you thought
Mm.
about it? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I cannot pinpoint a particular time, but just like you're saying, like this your teacher, put you in that position. I would say like a mentor in
Yeah.
that position. I've also had mentors in my life. I recall when I was in the university, I was always drawn to Max Lucado's books,
Mm,
and there's one at the top, I forgot the name of the author. Drawn to us kind of books. The friends that I had were talking, speaking that same language, that
mm,
conversation, having shared vocabulary. And I know that wherever I am, even though I'm not the crowd person, I'll have like two or three people that I'm
mm,
impacting. So, very intimate, settings, impacting two, three people, four people, not the multitude. But then I was doing that. I'm also able to bridge a gap between generations, which I
mm,
found quite strange, but I've started realizing that pattern. And then when I got to the university, I found like two, three people talk to me and say that, "Oh, there's something about you.
mm,
There's something about you." I
mm,
remember this particular person said, I can't really, a spiritual leader, I can't really pinpoint, but there's just something about you. Stay in the Lord and it's going to reveal to you on and on,
mm,
So that has always been at the back of my mind.
mm.
And then in the 2020, I think I was having a conversation and this person called me to say, you know what, you are a leader. And I think you need to join the Maxwell community because
That was when?
in
When was this?
2000 and the COVID year, 2020,
2020, yeah.
you're a leader. There is, you need to join the Maxwell to open up that potential in you. And, since then it's been leaps and bounds.
So now we've talked about the awareness. So the awareness came along the way when some people begin to call your attention. Now that takes us to the second thing because after awareness is the first step to change, and the second step to change is acceptance.
Yes.
And so acceptance comes in two ways. and there's ownership, and there's responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So you own it, because if you don't own your growth, you won't need to grow.
Indeed.
And then the responsibility is you accept the responsibility for growth. So, and
Mm,
you did by that take us to the leadership development. We started with leadership awareness. I'm just showing you this is how leadership works. So it started with leadership awareness. You became aware, because the opposite of awareness is ignorance. So you became aware that, oh, I have this. It's like a seed. Now I have to now develop it, because if you put a seed on the table, it will remain a seed.
mm,
Now, watch this. It's not just putting a seed anywhere. That
mm,
seed must be in the right environment. The law of environment says growth thrive in a conducive surrounding. So you are able to locate the Maswell leadership where we're not telling anybody, because you might not, not everybody might be able to afford it, but you can still start from somewhere
yes.
and put yourself in an environment where you can grow. And that's what you did.
Mm,
Wow, wow. So what has been the impact of mentorship on your life? How has it make you an effective leader?
mm. It's been very great, but I want to go back a bit and just define what leadership is, because people sometimes feel that it's the title.
Okay.
That title, once you have that title, especially in the corporate environment, then you're a leader. I was just going to say that even before I joined the Maxwell, I had the titles.
Mm,
So I had a title, I was I was leading people, managing them, but then my effectiveness was not as great compared to
mm,
when I joined MLC, and I realized that, it's not just about the position, it's not just
mm,
about the result, you get the production result you're getting, but actually people wanting to follow you for who you are and how you're
mm,
making them feel. And that for
mm,
me is actually leadership.
Wow, that's awesome. It reminds me of a little kid called Katie. Katie was she was in church
Mm,
with her parents, and when they're going back home, and Katie was sitting at the back, the mom and dad were in the front. So, and Katie now told the mom and dad that, Mom, Dad, when I grow up, I want to be like that man. I said, which man are you talking about? So the man at the church. Oh, they said, oh, Katie, you want to go to seminary? You want to be a pastor? I said, no. Then why do you want to be like him? I want to tell everybody what to do.
directing them. Yeah, the boss.
She saw that
Oh,
man was everybody stand up, everybody was saying, oh, Katie said, I like this. Everybody see that. They was, oh, wow. And they were obeying. I'm like, wow, I want to be that man. So I want to say leadership is not telling people what to do.
no, 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 no. Yeah,
No,
no.
it's not. It's showing people how to do it. Do
Yeah.
you get me? Because leadership has level. There are 5 levels of leadership. We have the position where every leadership starts from, which is based on your right. And
Mm-hmm.
then we have the relationship, which is based on
Permission.
permission, yeah. And the
Mm-hmm.
third one, production,
Mm,
which is based on results. That means
yeah.
you are producing results for the company you are working for. And the fourth one is people development, which is based on reproduction. That means you are now reproducing other producers. And the
Mm,
last one is pinnacle. That is based on respect. It's
yeah.
something you get to, or I mean, takes a lifetime of effort and consistency. But what we want to really deal with today is tell us how mentorship has shaped your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Because
as
he that had himself for as a mentor is a fool. That's what Ben Johnson said.
yes, I believe that. So mentorship has helped me in people seeing, and I want to say it in two ways. The first one is people seeing my blind spot that I don't have.
Mm, mm,
Because as a leader, of course, if you're not, we talk about self-awareness. So the first one is self-awareness, but you can know so much about yourself, and there's some things you can't just know about yourself, and people need to reflect to you.
mm,
So being a mentee, I've had people say, look at this thing. This is your blind spot in a very
mm,
nice way, empathy and safe environment. Let's walk through it. First of all, is own it that it's a blind spot, acknowledge it, and then see what you can do about it. So I really appreciate that. Having mentors helping me see my blind spot has actually helped me to reduce even the blind spots,
mm,
in total. Then also, as leadership is so lonely, as a coach, when people come to me, they're talking about executives that come to me and they're talking and processing the issues, you could see that
mm,
loneliness and there's almost no safe place to
mm,
process the issues, and it's all entangled in their heads and they're thinking and money about it and it's not leading anywhere. So in my space, in my coaching practice, when they come and we walk through this unbiased way and safe way of walking through the situations and we get
Mm.
them on stock and they move on to the next level, their effectiveness increases. So
Mm.
same way with me, when I have those mentors that I know that they're really for me and not against me, I am
Yeah.
able to walk through those issues
Mm.
and just increase my effectiveness. I know that if somebody feels lonely as a leader, they're not doing enough job because they should be pulling other people,
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
much so my
And
mentor.
you are so right about that. I can relate with that. One of my priority every day is relating with the leaders in the Lamb Global community. We have 25 of them. I've actually talked to one today. You understand? These are strong leaders. So, and it's only lonely at the top when when you isolate yourself. So
Yeah.
it's not truly lonely at the top because you can also bring other people with you.
Mm,
Because when talk about there are three phases. There's something called ladder climbing, there's something called ladder holding, and then ladder building.
yeah.
In Land Global Community, we are committed to attracting, developing, and multiply leaders. So I always
Mm,
give them priority first. As we're having the podcast now, one of them was calling me, you know. So
mm,
I can't be lonely having those leaders in my
mm,
in that
mm,
circle because they are my inner circles.
mm,
And
mm,
when I want to do something, I share with them.
mm.
Because the law of collaboration said your best thinking is best done with others, not
Yes.
by others, not
Yeah.
by you. It's with the word with it's all about collaboration.
Mm,
Yeah. So today, quickly before the time goes, I want us to emphasize on something that is very, very peculiar and unique in leadership. And that's what we want to really highlight. Oh, you're about to highlight something, Abi, after you guys have shared. Yeah, 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 yeah. This is the secret sauce. Don't miss it. We are about to share the secret sauce now.
wait for it.
Yeah, the real. We reserve it for the last time so that you can get it. Now, I want to talk about the abundant shift in leadership. The abundant shift in leadership. And that's what we are dedicating this podcast is. Now, what do I mean by the abundant shift? And this abundant shift is when a leader moves from maintaining to creating, from maintenance to creation. We are made for creation. We are not made for
Mm,
maintenance.
mm, mm,
Maintenance is a scarcity mindset.
mm,
Creation is an abundance mindset. Look at the word create, to
mm,
create.
mm,
And we are made in the image of the creator. So
mm,
that means what he wants for us to say, he has come that if you're not a person of faith, but this is what the greatest person that has ever walked this planet,
mm,
not just biblically, historically,
mm,
evidence proving
mm, mm,
that have come that you may have life and to have it more abundantly. So abundance mindset is the mindset that God has in mind for us to create things. Now, there are four zones for us to understand this, but listen to what Vince Lombardi said. Vince Lombardi is a veteran American football coach and executive, and for many years he coached the Green Bay Packers, and he won so many championships. This is what he said. He said, "The joy is in creating, not maintaining."
mm.
I love to create. I create every day.
Mm.
Creation gives me joy.
Yes.
So the
Yes.
joy is in creating, not maintaining. And this statement, let me just give a context about the Wright brothers. They were really great. They break they pioneered the aviation industry. But after they got to that high level creativity, the rest days of their life before Wilbur died was they want to maintain what they have created. They move from creating to maintenance. And then Weibo has a typhoid fever, and 2 weeks later, he died. And
Mm,
after he died, Ovil, the younger brother, he lost appetite for
mhm,
anything flight.
mm,
I believe they will have gone beyond what they did. And we are all like that.
mm,
So that's why we want to share these zones. And I want you to pay attention to that. These four zones really changed my life many years back. So there are four zones in life. The fourth zone is what we call the coasting zone. Now, coasting zone is a zone where you do less than what you've done before. Now, this is 2026. So let's say before in 2025, you are doing some things, and maybe you used to read one book per week or one book per month. And now you can't even read one book for 6 months, you know, and that it means you are already coasting. So just think about what you used to do. Now you are now doing little
Yes, sir.
compared to what you've done before. You're already in coasting zone. And the second zone is what we called the comfort zone. Now, in this comfort zone is where you do, that means you are not doing anything new. It's same old. It's the same old stuff. That means there's nothing new. So in the comfort zone, you do what you have always done. I wrote my first book in when I was in medical school. The first one in 2000, the second one in 2003. For 20 years, I was in comfort zone. I couldn't write a book. I wouldn't even say I was in comfort zone. I went back to coasting zone.
Coasting.
And that zone, you are so miserable. That means because there's a thin line between the comfort zone and the coasting zone. So 3 years ago, I was like, I just woke up. I said, no.
Mm.
When I begin to learn about this, I said, no, I want to change zone.
Mm.
Because growth happens outside of comfort zone. And that leaves us with two other zones. The third zone is what we call the challenge zone. In the challenge zone is where you attempt to do what you have not done before. And 3 years ago, I made up my mind, I'm going to do what I've not done before. Okay, one of the things, I love to write books. I've not written book for 20 years. And I said, I'm going to write 10 books this year. And I began to say it everywhere I go, everywhere I speak. It was really, 10 books, 10 books, 10. Well,
Yeah.
did I write 10 books then? No. I ended up writing 5 books. At least that's better than no books in 20 years. So the
Yes.
following year, there was 4 books in 2024. Then last year, 2025, 1 book came.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, why did I share that with you? I'm not sharing that to impress you, but I'm sharing that to impress upon you what happens when we don't get out of comfort zone. It happened to me. So that's why I have, someone said you are best qualified to position to help the person that you've always been. And that leads to us having authors forum and all the things that leads to great people like Coach Temi coming up with great books and all that stuff. Because your life is impacting other life. So that is why comfort zone, is an enemy of growth. So the challenge zone, you do what you have always done, or you do what you have not done before. But the creative zone is not about thinking. It's not about doing. It's not about thinking. It's where you think what you have never thought before. So, Coach Temi, can you just share now that we lay out this based on your own experience? Can you share? Because we're talking about the abundance shift in leadership. That leaders needs to have an abundance mindset, and what does it look like to move from maintaining to creating? And this is how you do it by recognizing these zones and to ask yourself a question: where am I? Are you in coasting zone, or are you in comfort zone, or are you in challenge zone? This is how you know. Whenever you are experiencing discomfort, you are outside of comfort zone.
Yes.
Because discomfort is a sign of growth. So, Coach Temi, I want to speak to this. You are the guest. Yeah.
I love it. Thank you. Yeah, so abundance mindset is it's a mindset that says that there is enough for everyone. There is
Yeah.
enough pie, portion in the pizza for everyone. So you're not
Yeah.
grabbing to finish it, or you're
Yeah.
not comfortable when there's no FOMO for you. There's no FOMO for you.
Yeah.
If
Fear
you're
of
a
missing out.
business, yes, if there is a business, if you're a business person, you're not thinking that the market is saturated, nobody's going to buy into your product or your
Mm.
services. You don't have that. You just know that the fish, and I'm going to use this analogy of they have a big sea and there are fishies, like different types of fishies
Yeah.
in there. Some will catch the little ones, some will catch the big ones, but
Mm.
understanding that there's always a fish for you to catch.
Yeah.
That's a baseline that we all need to have as leaders. Now, in the corporate environment where you're not necessarily your role is to you are a leader, hopefully you're a leader. If you understand the abundance mindset, then you're not there to trump over bad word, trump over people in the team. So you're not looking for eye service, you're not trying to snatch all the work because you want to think you want them to feel like you're the one doing the job. I'm just trying to point out certain things that I've seen happening in situations where I've been. If you have that abundance mindset in the corporate, you're happy to, even if there's an error, you're happy to own up to it, to say, yes, I take responsibility for that. Because there's confidence. You have a lot of confidence. You're
Yeah.
not fighting over work, you're not fighting over promotions, you're not
Yeah.
stepping on toes for that. And so if you want to move, going back to the Wright brothers, as individuals from the maintaining to the creativity, then every day we must be thinking creatively.
Mm.
And what does
Mm.
that mean for me as a practice? I wake up in the morning and I begin to write thoughts that come to me. I
Mm.
look at my vision board, I look at it, I write down the thoughts that come to me. And these
Mm.
thoughts are empowering thoughts.
Mm.
So I am an effective saleswoman. I
Mm.
can step on stage and talk
Mm.
about this particular topic.
Mm.
When I've done that, people's lives have changed. Whatever result I want to get at, people's lives have changed. In all that, you're creating, so we're going to go into brain science right now. We're creating thought patterns, new thought patterns in your brain. And the
Mm.
brain, the way the brain would work it's working for confirmation bias. Okay, so you're saying something and it's looking for ways it can confirm it. So it's going to be helping you to work out the actions you need to take on a daily basis to ensure
Mm.
that that vision comes to life. And that's how you keep creating. First is the thought, is the thinking, not
Yeah.
the doing, is the thinking right now. So I can do this thing. This is how
Yeah.
to do it. Your brain
Mm.
helps you to break it down into plans. The mentorship is there, the community is there to also help you punch holes and make this plan very solid.
Mm.
But you're acting on it because you've thought through it. And
Yeah.
this is how I've been able to write my books. The book I'm writing on, that's how I'm working on it. There's no gimmick in it. It's a daily work.
That's good.
It's
That's
a
good.
daily
Yeah.
work.
In fact, you know what? We're gonna wrap this up and we're gonna come back for a second time.
Okay.
I don't do that all the time, but I do that for some speakers because there's so much we're gonna export. So we're gonna wrap up this and with this idea to let us know that. And I love because the dimension you are going, if we enter into it, believe me, Sally, we won't finish this podcast
No, we won't.
when we're supposed to finish. And I love it. I love where you are going because I really want us to go there. Because it starts with a mindset.
Okay. Yeah.
You see, everything begins from the mind. Everything is created twice in life. First in the mind, then in the real life.
Yeah.
So when talk about this, because if you have an abundant mindset, you always believe that there are many pies. But if you have a maintenance mindset, you think that there's only one pie.
Mhm.
And this is why we have given you the zones. So what I just want to tell you right now is this abundance, um, this abundant shift in leadership is crucial to reaching your potential. As a leader, you can reach your potential if you remain on maintenance, no matter what you have done in the past. Listen, it's in the past.
Mm.
A leader gets two things: honor and respect.
Respect.
Honor for what you've done in the past, respect for what you are doing in the now. A lot of people are focused on honor. Now, one thing about honor is there's something called honor erosion.
Mm.
When you are not doing anything new, your honor credit goes down. Before you know it, it goes to zero.
Mm.
Because people honor you for what you have done. People respect you for what you are doing now.
Mm.
So the thing is, you have to stay in the game. You have to stay in the game. So we're going to continue this. And Coach Temi, before you go, where can people find you? I just want to tell. I know where to find you. Where can people find you? Because we are bringing you, but like I said, you are
Oh,
so great. That's why I trumpet your greatness before we start. So I've warned people ahead
thank you.
that yeah, yeah.
Thank
No,
you.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Because I want you to know I believe in you. I believe in your greatness, in who you are. And I love the way you carry yourself, the
Oh,
kind of outlook. Because and I want every leader to hear this. Listen
oh,
to me. it is the way you see yourself. That's the way people will treat you. So that's why the leadership is a mindset. It's a mindset. It has something to do with what you have. It has everything to do with who you are. Do you get me? Because who you are is the way you act.
Mm,
And the way you do anything is the way you do everything.
mm,
So in leadership, it's not a certificate.
mm.
It's a lifetime education that requires utmost dedication. So, Coach Temi, where can people find you? Uh,
Yes. Find me on my website, www.temibj.com. So that's temibj.com or LinkedIn.
okay, on LinkedIn. Okay.
Yes.
The same name on LinkedIn?
Yes, same name. It's full name, Temitope Bolaji-Jegede, but I could change that
Okay.
right now. But,
What
but
about Facebook?
Facebook, just find me on my website,
Okay.
www.temibj.com.
Okay, that's good. Wow, that's
Yes.
awesome. So this is the wrap up for the part one. Watch out for the part two, with Coach Temi. And in fact, part two will be coming big way to continue this abundance shift in
Yes.
leadership. Coach Temi, I want to say thank you so much for your time. We know you are very busy, but you are able to honor us to be here at the Leadership Advancement Mentorship Podcast. And to you viewers, we really appreciate you. We promise you that part two is going to be great, and it's going to be coming to you soon. Watch out. Thank you.